Hey, what's up, guys? This is adren from Team Dynamic. Be playing on Tuscan here versus eMg, also known as Zomblers. This is for ESEA Invite, week 2. And starting off here, our pistol round. It's going to be a passive setup, which is not really that uncommon. You know, everyone likes to play real passive with the USPs and just gain the distance advantage and snipe them out. And with our setup here, we're actually giving up the A bomb site, which is actually the easier bomb site to retake. So we actually want to hold the B bomb site, which is the more important site, so we have basically 4 guys ready to take B if they do happen to take B, and we have the A site barely even, we're just spotting it to see if they go in the site, and the A site is a lot easier to retake, so that's what we chose to do. We have me in doorway spotting Kitty, we have Legend CT spawn calling the mid, and then we have 2B, and they're playing off each other, one in the elbow area and one above him, right above him in the sniper spot. And they actually smoked me out here at mid, and I wasn't able to call Kitty. I did snag one at mid and let them know that they were possibly up Kitty, and then they did go up Kitty, and they fell into our strat perfectly. And we just retook the site, nice and easy. We had Pex and Sewers. He was just spotting deep down to make sure they wouldn't split in sewers too. So the retake on the A site is a lot easier than the B site, so we like to do that. The only downfall of this pistol setup is they actually get the bomb down if they go to A site. But with Pex and sewers and all of us just waiting to retake, we can all flash out, and a real good advantage to retaking the A bomb site is you can nade through the boxes. The nades actually go damage through the boxes, so it's really easy. And nading the planter, you know, it's pretty common and it happens a lot, and it's really easy to retake the A site. So here on the eco round, I'm basically just pop flashing mid to make sure they're not creeping up. It's real common for eco rounds for them to just creep up mid and then just walk bust it as soon as they see me or get a kill. They'll just charge. And yep, they didn't come up mid, but you saw me how I was pop flashing and then just spotting it and calling mid clear. I used both my flashes kind of fast, and I should have separated maybe a little bit longer, but it worked out well because I didn't need them, and they just got smashed over at the B site. A little bit more about the pistol rounds and overall like general map knowledge. As I said before, the A site is a lot easier to retake, so when you do an aggressive push, you want to do an aggressive squeeze on the B site. This round here, we know they're going to buy up. I reel it out in game, hold on. Alright, so we kind of know they were going to buy up. Third round, they got bombed down first round. So the big thing here is to not upgrade when you know they're going to be buying. You just keep your stuff and just try winning the round with the MP5s and whatever you have. If you try to upgrade and then lose the round, you're going to be messing up your money a lot worse than just losing this one round. So then we try to kind of go random on them, and we try to squeeze push and get up in their face with our MP5s, and it didn't work out that well, but it was a pretty good call, and I actually liked the squeeze at mid there. It came down to a 1v1. It's not bad for our round. So this round here, we all have around like high 4s, but we decide to save. Just because we like to have a 2-op setup. Me and AZK like to op, and really don't want to risk screwing up our money for the rest of the match, so we just took a nice save, and we just want to get our money nice in order so we can, you know, do our setups properly with ops and full nades. Yeah, so I'm just deke saving right now, and I'm just kind of lurking around, just kind of seeing where the action's going to be and who I'm going to help. As you see over at Kitty, they're playing a bait flash setup with Pex with a flash cocked and Legend up close, ready to pop around the corner. And at our B site, we have Steel on top of the little porch outside of the B, and then AZK is actually under it. Being grouped up on Ecos is really good, just because your guns do a little bit of damage, and if you can hit them together, it's a lot better. So my teammates die at A, so I try to just flash myself into the site here. Steel flashes for me, and then I try pushing out. Pick up a kit and an AK, so me and Josh are actually gonna excuse me. Me and Josh are actually just gonna run right in and try to win this round instead of saving. We know next round we'll be able to buy anyway, so we're gonna try to get this round. I believe it's only like a 3v2 or yeah, 3v2 in favor of them. So Josh picks up one, I pick up that guy, and then unfortunately Ryan actually was under the ladder room there. Kind of in a goofy spot. He really wasn't in the corner under the ladder, he was next to the other boxes, and I went for the spam since the new update, when you shoot any of the boxes on the map, you can shoot through like in 1.6. It does almost full damage, if not full damage. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, nades and bullets go right through the boxes now. So unfortunately, I mean, I could have played a little bit better after I got that kill at the banana guy. I could have maybe walked in and not spammed Ryan under the ladder, so he didn't know exactly when I was going to be coming at him. He kind of knew I was right there because I was spamming, and or I could have walked around and went through the entrance of tent because I did have some time. So, alright, this round I actually play middle, but this round we like to switch it up, and I like to take some shots at Kitty, some shots at Sewers, just to keep them on their feet and always not knowing what we're doing. So I do get an entry there at Sewers, and that's really good, especially on the first round. I like to op Sewers just because I want to let them know that Sewers is not an option for them. And because if they do abuse the Sewers, they can really take the A site and get some crucial rounds on us. Alright, so I did get the pick there at Sewers, and we should have went back to our normal setup with me mid and them two M4 and Kitty, but I got a little bit more aggressive, and I usually never get that aggressive. I threw sort of a bad flash, and as you see, the operator was able to dodge the flash and easily pick up my kill. That's actually a bad spot to op to, that perpendicular angle. You really never want to op a perpendicular angle, especially in source with like the interp and stuff. It's really bad. You always want to have an angle where they're going to be just running, not where they can fast peek you and stop, and makes your shots a lot harder. This actually, we actually won the round. The opper Riddick was just too far away. But what Josh did there was he smoked the bomb site, and with the new smokes, you can't see through these smokes. They are freaking thick. So I've seen it a lot already where people just smoke the bomb and just hop right on it. Pex actually got like a 1v3 last land, and they were just trying to spam through the smoke, and he just smoked the bomb and defused it. So yep, we still had Josh covering and AZK defusing, and that worked out really well. In this round I wasn't able to buy an op, but I was gonna buy a deagle. I would sometimes buy a deagle, but with the situation I was in, I decided to go M4 no armor. Now, armor isn't as important CT side, but since AK headshot, you die, Deke headshot, op, whatever. But I thought it was more important to buy the M4 for the rush up mid than to have a deagle and not be able to stop a rush, and that loses us the round. So that was my thinking process of buying the M4. And even though I was boosted on the right side mid box, I still was the fast rotator for window and short, since crossing mid is a lot more safer for me to jump across from on top of the box than to have one of the A guys run across and have a chance of getting offed. That's actually very popular to have an opera set up there at mid, and yeah, just cut the rotates. I've gotten many free kills like that, and so having the guy boosted on the box and be able to jump across is definitely helpful. And that round there, they had one creep up short by himself. I picked it up, and then they had the rest of the guys work banana. And my flank worked out perfectly. If my team wouldn't have been so good and killed them all, I could have gotten a really big flank with a lot of kills. But yeah, the timing of the flank worked perfectly because the banana guys were executing, but nothing was being executed at short, which they should have been executing at short at the same time as banana. So I took the chance of flanking flanking banana from short, and it worked out really well. Because if they're not executing short, then they have to either be mid holding cutting rotates or at banana executing. So the flank worked out perfect, and yep. So this round I got boosted right side box again. Like I said, switching it up at mid is definitely crucial. Mid's a weird spot to hold, and you need to always change your spot up so they don't get used to it. So I really like the right side box. You can do a lot with the right side boost box. The left side box I'll do every once in a while, but it's not as good since I can't help the A guys as much, and it's just not as better of a spot. Oh, plus it's the right side box, I'm peeking from the left side, so less of my body would be showing than if I was peeking a corner from the right side. So just retaking, waiting to retake together, I flash, we're entering. I actually called elbow, which is the spot underneath me, but he was actually up in sniper, so that's why I didn't go in with him. Alright. I really didn't explain that round too much since I was explaining the last one, but yep, I was boosted right side box with M4. I decided to keep it, and I caught someone with their pants down at mid throwing some flashbangs. And actually, once I kill one at mid, I actually like to pop around in the site so they can't nade me and flash me, and it's really good. I can help the A guys a lot better there too than to fall back to spawn or something like that. And I actually played spawn this round because I thought it would be an eco round, and it is an eco round. Spawn, I really don't like playing spawn unless it is an eco round, since you can get smoked out easily and you won't be able to help your teammates. Plus, the advantage is kind of towards the terrorist opper than the CT opper being in spawn. So that was an eco round. They did happen to bust up mid, which is my spot. It was bad comms between myself and my B teammates. The B teammates called a B rush, and I rotated to the banana. I was going to rotate to the banana since they double nade short. They like to double nade short and stop the rush there, but yep. I don't know if I called my rotate too late, and then the kitty guys did not know they were rushing up mid, or that mid was open. And yeah, we still did get the round though. So this is our push strat. We actually pushed this round with no smokes, so it was more of a surprise, and we don't want them to be set up and ready for us. The strat was Paxton Legend the run down middle, flash in, and I was covering them from far away in case they gotten flashed. Just in case they got flashed, they could run into a corner, and I would still be able to pick up the kill. And right now they're taking up Kitty, and I actually hit him through the box there for like 70 damage, jumping up. Since like I said before, you can shoot right through these boxes. And actually right there, I never noticed until right now, I actually hit my teammate through that box. That was in the, we call that spot vagina. But yeah. So the push worked out well, and after they have control of the B storage there, I'm the guy that has to call the kitty, so I sit in the doorway and I'll call up kitty and listen for the door. And the reason why we push the B site, I kind of said a little bit on this earlier, is that the A is a lot easier to retake, and you know the B is just easier to push. I've seen teams do squeezes on A and then they have to retake the harder site. It just doesn't work out. So right now my teammate dies at short and I'm up in window room nading myself. Those smokes are pretty thick. I could not see where I was nading. I'm just kind of floating around here. I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm trying to spot short from my opper that's in elbow area. And I'm also letting my teammates know that mid is open. And on this round, so we have a guy in window room. We kind of thought it was be a B. And then they did some weird kind of fake. I don't even know if they meant to do this. But they actually are sending 2B with the bomb at A. I'm not sure what their thought process was there, but as you've seen, an AK ran in, and they have an operate banana still. And he happens to get me with a fast peek. Wow, the bomb is at A. And actually, right before they went into the site, Azza, who was below me, rotated out, and we should have just stuck it out and guessed which site they were hitting. So now we have a 2v2. Oh, this works out really well. So we have one site and one op and kitty. They nade the site, and then they cover and defuse. This is a perfect setup. Azzo just watches from far back while Pex defuses the bomb easily. Even if he would have killed AZK, I think he still could have won the round by just staying on the bomb. And I actually played spawn in the beginning of that round because I wasn't really sure if they were going to be buying or not. And I'm going to get boosted right side box again. They haven't really seen me op up here yet, so I should at least be able to get one pick from up top here. We have Pex and Sewers, and Legend just kind of playing kitty passively. He's kind of letting them be able to come up. And we have our B guys being kind of aggressive. Being aggressive on B can pay off a lot. If we can get a guy set up opping down banana, we can kind of stack 4A. And this position worked out pretty well here. I actually killed the opper from a random spot from his angle. I get blind, so I hop in the site here. And since I'm not really watching mid, I'm no longer the mid guy. Well, I mean, technically I'm not. But I'm letting him know that mid was open, and Steel from window will watch mid while I try to watch kitty for my teammates. So we kind of had like a 4-man stack there for a little bit. But they do get a B, and we're just trying to retake. And this is a really crucial smoke that they throw there at the back of the elbow. And oh, one sec. Yeah, so that smoke is really crucial back there. Since you can spam all the boxes, the planner can be spammed from the elbow area right there and can really screw up the whole strat. So that smoke right there was actually really good for them. And the reason we really lost that round just because of our timing. I think the guy that I flashed under the ladder room wasn't blind because Josh went out first, whether it be my bad for communicating and not saying when to go in, or he just went in too fast. So it was just perfect timing. I mean, it comes down to little things like that when you're playing pro. So yeah, I should have flashed ladder and we should have went in together and we could have took that site. So now we're saving. We actually had, me and AZK had a lot of money and possibly could have bought up and dropped our riflers if we would have rifled also, but we don't want to risk our setup. We like playing our setup, and we wanted to play it safe and just save this round and get our money in order. And the spot I'm in right now, I would not recommend on gun rounds at all. This is a very bad spot. You can get flashed easily, you can get killed from kitty easily, and it's just a really bad spot. But on eco rounds, it wasn't too bad. I wasn't all the way tucked into the corner, so it was kind of a random angle, and I knew teams like to walk up mid, so that's what happened, and they walked right into my deagle shot, and I was able to pick up one and then spam the other through that same spot that I was in beforehand. But yeah, like I said, we actually played passive that round. Sometimes when we eco, we just like to play like we're buying, and we try to make the enemies think that we are buying. But it wasn't a bad eco for us at all. And now I'm going to get boosted on the left side box here. Just changing it up. So I'm just kind of spotting that right mid for a guy throwing and nading. They like to sit there and smoke out mid and flash mid. And I like to, you want to single zoom that, because if you double zoom that, excuse me, if you double zoom that, you won't be able to see the left hand side of them running out. And a lot of operas like to hit their head off like the top of the thing and try to pop out and shoot the guy that's usually on the right side box. And the guy throwing the flashbang jukes me a tiny bit, maybe like a centimeter more out, and I would have got him. So I change my spot. I get off that right side box, and I just try to help sight. And you never really want to be forced to go sight. Sight is a really bad spot to be. It's like a last resort spot. You never really want to play in sight if you really don't have to. So I hopped in sight. I got a pretty decent kill there while I was like half blind. So we got the bomb down. I actually got TK'd by my teammate. He was shooting through boxes, and I guess he didn't know that I was in sight, or that I killed the guy that was in sight. So he hit me for like 8 and 2. He's showing me through like a smoke in a box. So and right now at this clutch, it was a 2v2, and AZK was actually, he didn't play it as best as he could have probably. He was being a little bit aggressive. He was opping an angle where he could be peeked from 2 different spots. And when you're opping, you want to be focused on one spot and have the enemy only be able to peek you from one spot, the spot that you are watching. He was just aiming in the middle, and there was an opera kitty, but also a guy behind vagina box. But luckily, he has a really good shot, and he was able to shoot the little head off the guy at the vagina spot and not get picked from the opera kitty. But I mean, that could have went bad, since Steel was CT spawn. Really couldn't help Azo if he was to get picked from the kitty spot. So this round again, we're just trying to change it up. I'm opping down kitty. They usually like to walk right into my crosshair here. And once again, it's not like a perpendicular angle like I did last time when I was too aggressive. We hear a B rush, so we just full rotate. Bomb is called. And that's it. We had a nice fast rotate, especially with me playing kitty. We had 2 rifles ready to roll at mid. Went right up window. Alright. This is actually a pretty quick match. I think it ends up being 16-4. So, not sure. I go back. Okay, so I go back to opping kitty here, but I think we switch up the setup. It's not. Okay, so I am opping this corner here. I decide to nade and just go back to our standard setup, which has been working for us really well. Usually if something's working and a setup's working, I say just use it till use it until it doesn't work anymore. But changing up single spots like I was is not that big of a deal. Getting an opening pick like that is really helpful, and then reverting to your default setup after you would get an opening pick. So right now we had, let me check my console here, we had eMg die a banana, so we had a rotate over, and yeah, they basically Steel just wiped out some 1-2, Pex killed one at A, so they really just had like a split strat there. It looked kind of like a desperate buy since it was last round. They had a Dig and maybe an AK. So we just played default there and it worked out pretty well for us. Okay, first round. First round pistol. We know this team likes to play an aggressive pistol, which is not that uncommon. So either our setup, which is a retake on A, is very popular, or a push strat. But usually when you push strat on CT pistol, you'd want to squeeze the B site, and our T side setup here should counter each strat really. But instead they decide to squeeze A, and we have 3 guys waiting outside of B here and 2 in Kitty. Our strat originally was to hit B late with 2 guys faking Kitty with a smoke far, so if they were playing our exact setup, they would be able to call a smoke Kitty. We're not sure how many, but there are some there. So they have rotate at least 3, possibly 4 there if they have one pushed up B, and then we would hit B late with bomb. That was the strat, like if it was to be executed fully. But if they were aggressive, which like they were, we had a pretty easy take on B with one guy there. But like I said earlier, B squeeze is probably more popular and probably more effective too. And if we would have run that same strat and they pushed us B, they would have said, "Oh, B's clear." They would have rotated and maybe kept 1 or 2 close B storage, and they would have held A. And then we would have hit B late, and we would have been able to kill them up close B storage and get the site at B without any help, without any trouble. So yeah, it worked out really well for us. We got the B site pretty clean. I got an entry there, and we just set up really well at the end to hold it. We knew they were pushing through A, so they did flank 2 banana, and we were ready for it. And we had a nice setup with me elbow and 1 under tent. Excuse me, holy. Alright, so this round we're actually being a little bit more aggressive than we should. We're kind of just like rolling right up mid, and we're just kind of all frag happy right now. I mean, this could have went kind of bad. Me and AZK could have got 1 dig from both sides mid if they're playing a heavy mid eco. And the smoke there I threw at B storage in the beginning was just to stop guys from pushing, the banana and the short, so that I could work mid effectively without watching my back. And they basically, it was a B push. They were stacking B, and they flanked 2 mid and 2 came from spawn, and so it worked out for us. But it probably wasn't the best choice. We probably took it slower and actually saw what site they were trying to stack, where they were playing, what they were doing. That would have been the better option. But we just got aggressive, and it did work out for us. Just holding back here, 3B, 2A, far back, threw some nades mid. Steel gets a nice 4K here. I think they were all pushed banana. I think Zomboid smoked down Kitty, and then just they tried running right through it. We actually, besides the 3rd round bye, which we just kept our MP5s, we really didn't get that aggressive. Even on our eco rounds, we like to play passive, but Tuscan is definitely a good map to get aggressive on CT side. And we didn't use it here on this exact match, but usually we'll smoke out mid and put some pressure from banana, short, and mid. And this is actually what they do here. They send one up mid, flash, they get aggressive, and he actually goes from connector to A and pushes. We really didn't do that much on our CT side, and usually after we did it once or twice on CT side, we would fake that strat, and we would make them waste a lot of nades by just throwing a smoke mid. They were like thinking, oh, they're rushing mid, they're doing a push strat. They would waste so much stuff, and it would make it harder for them to execute later in the round. So they pushed a mid, just one guy mid, I believe, but they also pushed down Kitty. So I kind of went back. One teammate died at A, so I made sure that he weren't flanking me all the way from A and see if what they were doing there. So now my job right now is just to watch the flanks, the short and the banana, while my team takes the site there. Pretty flawless. Right now I'm just talking to the legend. I'm saying, don't die, I can't help you. The smoke is super thick. He calls elbow and then tent. Oh, and he's up top actually. So I'm just delaying here. There's no way he can defuse the bomb, so I just go and save. So good round by us. I think they went a little bit too risky for the first round. I think they should have played a normal passive CT setup to really judge our strats and see if they really need to get aggressive at all. I don't really like getting risky first round when your normal stuff could be working against the team. So we just go into kind of a hold setup here. Oh, this is actually the last round, so they're going to be kind of force buying, and we're not really sure. So playing passive at the start of the round is always the best thing to do when you're not really sure. Once again, I'm trying to throw that smoke there that covers off the long and the short. I don't think it was actually deep enough to cover the short. I should have thrown it a little bit further, but you get the gist of what I was trying to do. I flash, just clear mid, make sure they're not pushed up. And we're just kind of lurking here, seeing what they're doing, what kind of guns they have, what setup they're doing. Clearing out the boosts. So we have our guys working up Kitty, and now I'm just kind of flashing because my teammates are actually up Kitty. So I flash there, so the guys, if they are like door or spawn, my Kitty guys can't be shot from him. And there actually was a guy in doorway and picked up both kills after I wasn't mid flashing. This was actually supposed to be 2 guys fake Kitty. It was actually our pistol round. We were gonna have 2 guys fake Kitty with 3 go B. But this was actually my fault for going Kitty too. And it actually worked out really well though. The guys wanted to go B, but I said I have A, it's clean, come plant A. We have AZ, we have Legend, was AKing middle, and I was watching from very far back. We just held it off. Thanks for watching, guys. This is my first commentary. I hope you guys liked it. Thanks.